All right, this is Mr. Curvis,
Miss Messina.
and we are going to be looking at how you get your data, how you find measures of central tendency and spread within Autograph, and how you make box plots, parallel box plots, as well as cumulative frequency. So let's start by making some choices, and we will go to Australia first, right?
Okay, that's good.
Australia is a little bit different. We'll start with it because you have to look at the questions to see what you would like to explore. And I believe we decided to compare. Do you remember what we decided to compare?
We were looking at question 12, which was the year group.
Okay.
So that limits our data set to start with.
Year 7, and we were going to look at
I think it was time to school, wasn't it? Or after school, yeah.
how
Watching
many
TV.
hours spent watching TV after school. Okay, so what we are looking at 33, there are 3 questions in 33, so we're going to see 33, 33A on the heading. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. And the different years. So once we found the question, the open link in new tab. In New Zealand, those questions come right at the front. We're going to look at year 7, and we're going to get that sample.
I think we need to say how many pieces of data we need.
Oh, here. Well, since there are a minimum of 50 that we need, what should we pick up here?
Well, if you only pick 50, then you're going to be struggling possibly if you have to exclude any of the data. So at least 75, I would say, is a good starting point.
Let's start. Let's see, and then we'll get that sample. And we'll go back, and we'll change this year 11. And again, have a look at another sample. Okay, those have gone down to my downloads. They download as a CSV file. We'll show you 2 ways to open it. So if we take this, we can open with Excel. This requires a step which is explained on its learning. Highlight the whole column, change text to columns. We will delineate. We need to select the comma if it's not ticked, and then it will tidy up our data. Okay.
Which makes it a lot easier to read then.
All right, so we were over here, and this was our data for year 11s. Okay, so we can delete everything else. And we wanted cell 33, 23, 32, 33, and it was the second part of that, so 33A. There we are, that's the TV, and then we can get rid of everything else. Okay.
Oh, there's some strange data in that column there.
This we don't like, do we?
No.
How come?
Well, when it says 30 plus, that could be actually 37, could be 80, we have no idea. So we want to use data that we can validly plot.
Okay. We have no idea what that 30 is. What about this one here?
Same as that one. We don't. It may be that it's meant to be 0, but it could be that they just missed out the question, so it's not valid data.
Okay, so now we're down to 73, right? Did I miss any? Does that look good?
And that looks good.
Okay, good. Then we've got year 11 sorted. And if we go to the downloads, and I'm going to right click and open with numbers, which does a nice advantage here in numbers, is it already does that for us.
Nicer.
So we can highlight those all the way down to question 11. No, where was
12,
it?
I think.
Yeah, question 12. Good. Year 7s. We can delete those. And start it there. 30. Let me know when you see it. 33A we're looking for. 31. 32. 33A, wasn't it?
33.
And we get rid of the rest. So it doesn't take too long, and you've got yourself a nice data set. So let's have a look. What's 33, right? Yeah, okay. So numbers, And hours TV after school for communication there. Any funny data here? Ooh,
There's
there's one.
And another.
Okay, 73 people there.
It might have been that we actually had to delete more on this one. What happens if the data sets weren't the same size?
If they weren't, did we get lucky and they're the same?
I think they are, yeah.
Wow, that doesn't happen very often. Then we would definitely take, I believe your suggestion was go to the bottom and delete the rows until you have the same number. Otherwise, the mean, the cumulative frequency especially is going to be a problem, side-by-side curves. So make sure you have the same number in your data set. So we have 73 there. Brilliant. Okay, so we have deleted everything we didn't need, saved just the columns we want.
And they are the same size.
Now we're going to, yep, there we go. That was very important, wasn't it? Same size sample. When we have a look at importing them to Autograph, this should work quite nicely. We'll show with both softwares. If it gives you trouble, come and see us. You want a 1D stats page. Then you want to import the raw data, right? We'll go over to Excel first and see if it works there. So it's year 11s. If we take that with it, copy and paste, it will make it the title, right? And here, we should title it year 11, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, that came in nicely. If it doesn't, come and see us. Sometimes you have to import the CSV, but it's been working for us quite well. There's our data set. Then we'll import a second data set. This one's year 7, and it should work exactly the same from numbers. Oh, good.
Looks good.
And so year 7, boom, okay. Excellent. So import it to Autograph without a problem. Sometimes it copy and paste, sometimes you have to import. Be careful of comma versus decimal. Do you remember what that problem was last year with a few students?
I think it's to do with the settings on your computer, isn't it? And the formatting of the cells. So sometimes Excel, for instance, is expecting to see a comma, and if you don't use a comma, then it's reading the numbers incorrectly.
Okay, so you can do a find and replace. Again, if you have trouble with that, let me know, but Apple Find, search all your decimals, switch them to commas, and then copy paste it should work.
One thing I'd just like to point out, number 2, save as a CSV file. Do make sure you save your data because you will actually need to include that into your report as well. Once you put it into an Autograph, if you then just delete the Excel spreadsheet, then you've got nothing to go back to.
It's save. Okay. All right, our next task is to make parallel box plots. Autograph does this really, really nicely. So if we have a look at year 7, we can simply click here and it makes from the raw data the box plot.
How easy is that?
Cool. Now, do we need a frequency column on box plots?
It doesn't actually mean anything, does it?
No. So let's have a look here at the there text box. So year 7. Let's make that. And let's bring it down closer to our scale. You notice I can't drag it that way, of course, right? Because that wouldn't make any sense. Year 7, though. And let's take your advice here with the scale. This isn't very useful counting in tens, is it?
No, I mean, I would find it very hard to read off what the median was on there.
So 2s.
Sounds good.
And we can put pips at 1. Pips are these little lines up here. This we don't really care about. We can make it 40 if we don't want to see it. We can take those off, call them also 40. It won't really do anything, but then at least you don't have to look at it. We can call the label. See, this is a label X, so let's call it okay, hours of TV watched after school, and this one makes no sense, so we'll take that label off. And brilliant, that looks better, doesn't it?
Much better.
Okay, so we've got year 7 box plot. what kind of calculation would a student need to be doing at this end of things?
Well, there's a huge range for the last quartile, isn't there? So you might want to be looking at whether there is an outlier in the data set, I would say.
Perfect. I agree. So here we can again take this. Now we call it year 11. And we have a formal calculation this year, which we're expecting the students to do there for the outliers.
For the outliers, yeah. And we have actually gone through that in class. So if you can't remember it, go back into your notes from class and you should be able to find it.
How's that?
That looks good. On the calculator, in order to draw the box plots manually, we have a whole lot of data that you can pick up. Can we do that on Autograph as well?
Okay, let's start with year 7. And you're talking about the measures of central tendency and spread?
Exactly.
Look at that. There we are.
Oh, how easy is that?
So we have 73 in the sample. We have the mean. We have the standard deviation. We have the range, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile. This thing we don't care about. Instead of this, what do we actually expect the students to calculate?
They'll need the interquartile range, especially if they're looking to do those outliers calculations.
And the other two numbers missing are the max and the min. But you can easily see max of 25, min of 0.
Yeah.
Okay, and here max of 26, min of 0.
It also doesn't include the mode, does it? However, the calculator doesn't either, so it's something that they can look up from their data.
Okay, here, year 11, I just toggled, you see how I switched that? And now when I go to year 11, and this will give me my results for year 11. You can take screenshots of those and put them in your project or retype them, whatever you like. Again, the n number better match. You have the mean, the standard deviation, everything you need to calculate the interquartile range, and then you'll use that to do your check for outliers. I would be pretty surprised if there's no outliers here. Looks 1.5 times the interquartile range. Yeah. But have a look at those and identify them. And did we talk about everything?
I think so. They're all ready to then analyze all their data from their box plots.
Good. So next video will show cumulative frequency curves.